What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, undefeated, unified 3-belt welterweight world champion who holds the WBC, WBA, IBF welterweight world titles, widely considered by many to be top 2 best pound-for-pound fighters in the world, if not number 1, definitely top 5 fighters in the world, and Errol "The Truth" Spence Jr. 28 wins, no losses, no draw. 22 big wins by way of knockout, 32 years of age, 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach. Well, he weighs in and gives his thoughts on undefeated 2-division world champion, superstar boxer, who is former, now unified super featherweight world champion, Olympic silver medalist, superstar Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson, 18 wins, no losses, no draw, 9 wins by way of knockout, 25 years of age, 5'8" with a 71-inch arm reach. Okay, with that said, Shakur Stevenson was set to face off against Olympic gold medalist, Brazilian star boxer Robson Conceição this Friday night. He's set to face Robson Conceição this Friday night. Well, he was set to defend his unified WBC, WBO titles, but Shakur Stevenson, he missed the 130-pound weight limit, and he came in at 131.6, which saw Shakur Stevenson lose his titles on the scale, okay? And prior to the weigh-in that took place yesterday, Shakur Stevenson, he made it be known that he had a big announcement coming soon, and that big announcement seemed to come in the form of him moving up to the full lightweight division, 135 pounds, okay? And the announcement had to come earlier, sooner rather than later, because Shakur Stevenson missed weight. And according to reports, they had to pay Robson Conceição extra money to even have the fight, to continue to follow through with the fight, because he was threatening to pull out the fight. And so Errol Spence was tagged in a post on Twitter, in which the post, it attests to Errol Spence being considered a weight bully, right? Because everybody says that Errol Spence, including one of Errol Spence's former foes, in 2-division world champion Puerto Rican superstar boxer Danny Swift Garcia, who recently stated when he fought Errol Spence, it was like fighting a middleweight, 160-pounder, right? Errol Spence is considered to be a very, very big welterweight. And so many people, they feel like Errol Spence is a weight bully, essentially, in a sense. And this label, Errol Spence has been carrying on from Errol Spence for quite some time. There was even a label that Errol Spence was dabbling in performance enhancers. People was talking about how ripped he was, how his vascularity was, his nipple size, on and on, okay? And people say they don't know how Errol Spence makes 147 pounds. And the same was going for Shakur Stevenson as of late, okay? People started to say they don't know how Shakur Stevenson is able to make 130 pounds because he's a very, very big 130-pounder, okay? And so this is what somebody said to Errol Spence in his response to Shakur Stevenson missing weight and announcing that he did everything he could at 130. He tried all he could to make the weight limit, but he just have to move up to 135. He cannot deplete and hurt himself, right? And somebody said this to Errol Spence, quote, "This ain't no slight to Shakur, but y'all need to stop calling Errol Spence a weight bully. Man never missed weight ever in life. And I rock with Shakur heavy." And Errol Spence said, he responded to that by saying, "No cap," right? Errol Spence has never missed weight, okay? He's always made weight, regardless if everybody was saying that Errol Spence was, hanging out, enjoying the fruits of his labor in between fights way too much. That saw, Errol Spence, essentially, blow up in weight and have to have weight loss camps, opposed to having strategic camps, right? And focus on the game plan and just focus on his opponent and focus on strategy. He had to focus on losing weight. But even then, he was able to get it done, okay? Errol Spence never, ever, missed weight. He didn't have to, go back, come back and forth and things of that nature. Even 2-time welterweight world champion, superstar boxer, Showtime Shawn Porter, who's a retired future Hall of Famer, who is dedicated. Shawn Porter doesn't party in between fights. Shawn Porter doesn't balloon up in weights in between fights. And even Shawn Porter, he missed weight twice on the scale, to which Shawn Porter at one point in time got on the scales, had to strip butt naked. He still missed weight. Then his father, trainer, manager, Kenny Porter, had to cut his hair. He had braids at the time. He had to cut Shawn Porter's hair in order for Shawn Porter to make the weight, okay? And Shawn Porter, there is no picture of Shawn Porter overly ballooning up in weight. Shawn Porter, you know, dibbling, partying and doing things of that nature. There's no trail. There's no receipts of that when it comes to Shawn Porter, who seems to be very, very clean cut. Who is very, very clean cut guy. And so with that said, yet and still, Errol Spence has never had an issue with making weight. As much as people like to say he's a middleweight that's, you know, campaigning at welterweight and weight bullying, like they said, you know, and he's a natural 54-pounder. He's a 60-pounder, like Danny Garcia said recently in an interview in the build-up for his comeback after he lost to Errol Spence December 5th of 2020. He stated that, you know, he couldn't hurt Errol Spence because it was like he was fighting a middleweight, okay? And Errol Spence recently put out a post in which Errol Spence, he attested this himself, and he said that, you know, when he watched Danny Garcia make his debut against Jose Benavidez Jr. at 154, he said, Errol Spence put out a tweet, and he said that extra weight feel great, don't it? You know, alluding to, you know, he can't wait to go to 54, which he's made it abundantly clear. He has only one objective and one plan, only at 147, and that's to face off against undefeated 3-division world champion, former junior welterweight undisputed world champion, currently the reigning WBO welterweight world champion, who is widely considered by many to be the #1 best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, and Terrence Bud Crawford, okay? Terrence Crawford is 38 wins, no losses, no draw, 29 big wins by way of knockout, 34 years of age, 5'8" with a 74-inch arm reach. That's the biggest fight in the sport of boxing. So Errol Spence has made it abundantly clear, I have one plan and one plan only. That's to fight Terrence Crawford for undisputed for all the marbles and the biggest fight in boxing. And then my plan is to go up to middleweight, and to which Errol Spence even attests to fighting his close friend and fellow stablemate, who is also trained by well-renowned trainer, soon-to-be 2-time trainer of the year, future Hall of Famer, and Derrick James, who trains undefeated 3-time junior middleweight world champion, superstar boxer, who's currently the undisputed super middleweight world champion. Junior middleweight world champion, and that's Jamil Lyons Only Charlo, who is 35 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 19 wins by way of knockout. He's 32 years of age, 6 feet tall with a 73-inch arm reach. They both train by Derrick James. Jamil Charlo is with the PBC, Premier Boxing Champion, founder and advisor Al Heyman. So they're under the same umbrella, right? And they both out of Texas. Errol Spence is Dallas, Texas. Jamil Charlo, Houston, Texas, where Errol Spence was born in New York. So with that said, you know, he even attests to, you know, yeah, we friends, but we got to break bread. I'm coming after those belts, and let's eat. You know what I mean? It make dollars, it makes sense. Let's eat. Okay, so Errol Spence even attests to he's willing to fight Jamil Charlo, who's the undisputed champion. So if Errol Spence is going to become a 2-division champion, he's either one, going to have to fight Jamil Charlo, or 2, Jamil Charlo is going to have to vacate the belts and move up to 160 pounds, which I could see Errol Spence move up to 54, Jamil move up to 60, and his brother, identical twin brother Jamal, undefeated 2-division champion, was the WBC reigning middleweight champion. Jamil Charlo, 32 wins, no losses, no draw, 22 wins by way of knockout. Obviously, they're identical twins, 32 years of age, 6 feet tall with a 74-inch arm reach. He can move up to 168. There's the big fights at 168 for Jamal. Jamil moves up to 60, and then Errol moves up to 54. So I could see that domino effect. But nonetheless, Errol Spence has expressed his interest in moving up to 54 and only have 1 fight left at 47. But like he said, he's never, ever missed weight. Now, when it comes to the situation with Shakur Stevenson, he's just growing. You know, Shakur Stevenson is a dedicated kid to the sport of boxing. I've never seen Shakur Stevenson overly out partying and hanging out. and enjoying the fruits of his labor. He's always in the gym. I never seen him super out of shape, you know, blown up in between fights. You know, it's just time. 25 years old, growing. He fought at 126. He fought at 130. He's a 2-division champion. It's just time, okay? His body is just not going to allow him. Like he said, he did everything he could, and it's just time for him to move up, period. So let's see how everything unfolds and plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.